morning. I'm back on the trail. It is January 8th. Walking in snow. It is like 16 degrees, I think. And I am headed from 443 to 501, 12.8 miles. And the first 4 miles is a climb up to the ridge. So I should be warm soon. Yeah, let's go hiking. I have been dreaming of walking in conditions like this. Got my winter gaiters on, and I'm debating putting on my micro spikes. Not really sliding that much, but I do think I would get better traction with them on. My fingers are frozen though, so I've got my hand warmers in my gloves, and once my fingers thaw, then maybe I'll put on my micro spikes, because I do think they'd be helpful. So I tried really hard to do this particular segment on January the 4th. I arranged a shuttle, and late Monday night they called to say they had a family emergency, therefore they couldn't shuttle me. So when I got up on the 4th, I tried reaching out to another shuttle service that is advertised in the Far Out Guide that they shuttle from dawn until 10 p.m. And so at 7 a.m. I called them, and somebody answered the phone, but they never spoke. And 15 minutes later I tried one more time, and the phone just went straight to voicemail. And I considered coming out and splitting the section in 2, but I'm so over splitting sections up, especially at this time of the year. I just threw my hands in the air and I said, well, clearly the Lord does not want me to hike today. So then Wednesday, I called the first shuttle service to see if their emergency had been resolved, and it was not resolved. And then I called the people that didn't answer me, and I waited till lunchtime, and this time a woman answered and said, "Oh, sorry, we don't shuttle anymore. But here, I can give you the phone number for this other guy who took it over for us." And I was like, yes. So I reached out to him and set my shuttle for today to be picked up at 7 a.m. and driven around to 443. That above us is Interstate 81. Right, okay. I finally put my micro spikes on, and they're a game changer. They really do grab hold of the terrain on the snow and the ice. Only wish I would have put them on before I started hiking, because the whole trail is covered in snow and ice. A couple of more good snowfalls and the trail, I think, would be snowshoeable. In off-trail news, my big red truck now has a Pennsylvania license plate. In trail news, this hike has me thinking about my section hike and traversing through the Smoky Mountain National Park. Yeah, that's where the trail is in high elevation, and since it'll be in May, it's either gonna be warm enough to rain or cold enough to snow. So I will definitely be bringing my snow gaiters and my micro spikes. I think I've ditched the idea of bringing my bear can, because the pack that I use is only 45 liters, and putting the bear can in is a super snug fit, especially considering it's not mandatory to carry a bear can through the Smokies. It's just recommended. So those are my thoughts about that. And then I guess this is also trail related. It's officially the 2022 through hiking season, and I just subscribed to a couple of hikers who have started their through hikes. One fella is Anchor Hikes, and he's going northbound. And this other fella, I think his name is Dan Beneroff, he started from Katahdin and is coming southbound, and he started in December. I find the winter backpackers to be really fascinating and courageous. I mean, gosh, the shuttle driver Roger thinks I'm really courageous just for day hiking in these conditions, and not gonna lie, I was nervous and excited to get on the trail today, because I have not hiked on a trail like this in these conditions since I hiked up Mount Baden-Powell last winter in California. It is somewhat intimidating, but I'm doing it, so yeah, check those guys out. I am really rooting for them to make it all the way. these early starters are just beyond. I don't know who broke the trail, but I'm really glad that they did, because it would definitely be more challenging if there were no footprints. This is a really gigantic blowdown. Wow. All right. I guess I might go through there. I had to take my pack off to get through that blowdown. And then I had my first technical difficulty in that the straw for my water bladder froze. So, I mean, I've been blowing the water out of the straw back into the bladder, but apparently that's not good enough, because, you know, it's almost impossible to get all of the water out of the straw and back into the bladder. So I fixed that with the hand warmer. Let's hear it for hand warmers. And I don't know how I'm gonna keep it from freezing over again. Probably gonna be pretty hard to do that. Winter hiking is definitely more challenging. I mean, going forward, I can empty my bladder and switch over to insulated water bottles. I have 2 at home in the fridge that I use for work. Yeah, I guess that'll be the change that I make for winter hiking, especially since here in Pennsylvania, January and February definitely get below freezing. I think Monday and Tuesday, where the low is forecast in the single digits, which is completely normal for this time of year. I just don't have winter hiking experience. Not a lot, anyway. And it'll be fun to learn all the things, because I really love this. I'm having a really good time. Just crossed through a pretty rocky section, and yeah, even with micro spikes on, it's precarious. Plus, you don't get a full sense of what the trail looks like in the snow. Little bit sketchy. The obstacles just keep coming. I think I'll go that way. So, here are the things that I'm thinking about as I'm making this first wilderness legit winter hike in Pennsylvania. It's not my first winter hike ever, but it's the one where I'm thinking about the trail and how to be as safe as possible. For example, I should have started with my winter gaiters already on and my micro spikes. And fun fact, I just got my feet wet, and I mean, it could have been a creek or a spring. It wasn't really flowing, but it was not frozen. And almost immediately, these big solid snowballs started sticking to the microspikes, so that I had to stomp them off and kick them off on a tree. Just some safety things. For example, I have steel wool to start a fire, but I don't think I have a lighter in my day pack. I have my emergency blanket though, and I have my Garmin InReach Mini attached to my pack, but I think I deleted the app that goes with it from my phone, and I'm not really sure why. I need to make sure I get that back on my phone. And you know, the whole water situation, I have a bee-free filter and water bottle in the bottom of my day pack, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna be no good anymore because I forgot that it was in there and there's water in it. And based on everything freezing, including my side water bottle with electrolytes, yeah, I'm guessing that that filter is probably going to be no good anymore. Which then leads me to think that instead of hiking with a filter, I should hike with water purification tablets instead, or Aquamira drops. I think Aquamira sterilizes your water faster, and keep the filter strictly for the warmer weather. Yeah. Learning a lot out here as I think through how the hike is going and what I could do differently in the future, what I will do differently in the future. And I'm definitely well over halfway back to the truck. And I do think because the sun is shining, the temperature warmed up maybe to freezing because my straw is not frozen anymore. Whew. Okay, got a shelter that way, and campsites that way. Something else of note, this cold weather, every time I film, drains the battery on my phone pretty rapidly. So I am thankful that I carry a backup battery in my day pack, but it's a pretty small one, and I think it could charge the phone maybe twice. It might be better to have my 5,000 or 10,000 milliamp hour backup battery. Learning all the things. Just encountered a group of 6 folks who are on an overnight winter backpacking trip, staying at that shelter that I just saw, and it's an annual event for them. And oh my gosh, they all have external frame backpacks loaded high over their heads. Reminds me of the trail runners up in New Hampshire that work in the huts and carry their giant packs up and down with resupplies. And they were pulling a sled loaded with firewood. I mean, they're gonna have a really good time. Honestly, this day hike, I think, brings me one step closer to trying winter backpacking. And yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before I get there, because it's just so peaceful out here in the snow. I'm about 1.5 miles from the road that'll take you into Pine Grove, and then I'm less than 4 miles to 501. So the trail over the last couple miles has been pretty nice. Okay, 2 miles left, and I will have then connected all of Pennsylvania together in one continuous line. Back at the truck. According to the Far Out Guide, this was a 12.8 mile segment, but according to my Relive app, it was 13.7 miles, and it took me 6 hours and 20 minutes. So I hiked about 2 miles per hour, so it's really good. My left ankle hurts and my right knee hurts, and, well, my left ankle because, you know, hardware broken, blah blah. My right knee, though, I think might be sore because of walking in the micro spikes. There's definitely a little bit of a learning curve when you wear micro spikes. Yeah, it was a great hike. Beautiful day. I had a beautiful view almost the entire hike because it was following a ridge line. And, excuse me, the terrain was not terrible. There were a couple of rocky sections, but nothing crazy. So now I only have 7 miles, or maybe 7.25, 7.5 miles to finish the state of Pennsylvania and get to the New Jersey state line. Right, okay. That'll do it for this video, and yeah, I'll see you next time.